Up in a homestand, it's the first of three against the Florida Marlins. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros, coming off a 2-5 road trip, now face the Marlins again for the second time in a week, and they're a team that's pushing for the wild card lead, JD.
That's a whole lot of Marlins in a 10-day stretch, and the Marlins are a red-hot baseball team right now. 10 hits or more in 13 consecutive days. Take a look at the pitchers in tonight's matchup for the Florida Marlins. It's Ricky Nolasco. He had been on quite a roll until the Astros got a hold of him in Florida. The Astros really pummeled him, but prior to that, really pitching well. He's a guy who really mixes his pitches well, has good breaking stuff, decent fastball, and as I mentioned, really pitching great baseball. Bud Norris for the Astros has gone to the hill as a starting pitcher 3 times. He's won all 3 of them. He struggled a little bit in Florida, but still managed to pick up the win. It's an explosive fastball, hard-breaking ball, and a pretty darn good changeup, too, for Bud Norris.
So for the Astros, they continue on this seafood diet, hoping that Hunter Pence can continue to rip the way he did on the road trip with 4 home runs. It's the Astros and the Fish coming up next. By Bush, by the Ford F-150, and by Jack in the Box. Inside Minute Maid Park, it's the first of 6 on this homestand for the Astros. The Astros have lost 15 of their last 22. Florida won 3 of 4 from Houston in Florida. And as these fans, and they are brightly attired tonight, are watching, the lineup cards are being exchanged throughout home plate. A little Hawaiian flavor to the evening. Special extra hot dogs on sale for 6 different varieties tonight, getting good reviews from Ken Hoffman in the Houston Chronicle. And these fans might want to munch on something. They have a moment or two before the teams take the field. And JD, as the Astros come back home, they're 31-28 in their home ballpark. They have slipped 10 games off the St. Louis Cardinals lead pace in the NL Central. They would love to get it rolling. Phil Cousy, Brian O'Nora, Ed Rapuano, Scott Berry, the umpires for this ball game. Freddie Gonzalez is checking the ground rules. with the umpires. It's like Ed Rapuano talking about maybe fan interference or something like that.
Yeah, probably trying to get straightened out on the Crawford boxes and that fencing that runs along the end of the boxes there as it gets near the Marlin bullpen. I think some visiting managers have some questions as to what the ruling would be in a ball that hits off that railing. Just a guess.
The Astros have announced that Mike Hampton's been placed on the disabled list. Felipe Paulino will be called up from Round Rock, and he's supposed to be here tomorrow. And as the Astros take the field behind Bud Norris, we check the starting lineup brought to you by AT&T for the Florida Marlins. Leading it off, it's Chris Coghlan in left field. Ross Glode's the first baseman, filling in for the injured Nick Johnson, who has a hamstring strain. Hanley Ramirez is at shortstop. He's a .430 career hitter against Houston now. Jorge Cantu plays third base. John Baker, the catcher, batting fifth. Dan Ugla at second base. Cody Ross in center field. Jeremy Hermida in right field. Ricky Nolasco is the starting pitcher.
Well, Bud Norris is going to pitch tonight. It will be his fourth start for the Astros. He won all three of his first three starts. 3-0 record, ERA of 3.21 innings. He's walked 11, struck out 22. Continuing that fine work. And down to AAA this year, was leading the PCL in earned run average when called up to the big leagues. He's up against his hard-hitting Marlin team. And we'll take a look now at the Astros defensively tonight. Lee Bourne and Pence cover the outfield. The infield features Blum at third, Tejada's your shortstop, Kaz Matsui at second base, Lance Berkman at first, Chris Coast will get the start tonight behind the plate. Pudge Rodriguez headed north to Dallas to join the Rangers, so Coast and Quintero will share the catching duties as we move forward.
This is the first start for Chris behind the plate for the Astros. He's caught some innings but has not started a game for Houston at catcher. So the catching situation among the changes here as they look for their seats. It's Bud Norris. He scribbles the initials of his late grandfather on the mound before starting this ball game. It's Coghlan to lead it off. Chris Coghlan leads the majors in hits this month with 29, 2 more than his teammate Hanley Ramirez. Had a 12-game hitting streak. Hit .436 during those games earlier this month. .289 for Coghlan, 7 homers, 33 runs batted in. Coghlan had a good series against the Astros. There's ball one. Has a .366 on base average. 24 years old. He's from Palm Harbor, Florida, and the University of Mississippi. Norris falls behind him, 2 balls, no strikes. Norris gave up 10 hits and 5 runs, 4 of them earned in 5 innings, but won that game at Florida last time out, 14-6. It's 2-1.
Yeah, it was very aggressive, had that big early lead, and because of it gave up a lot of base hits. This Marlin club a very aggressive bunch, but when you get a big lead like he had, that's the MO. You don't want to be walking people, and he issued just 1 free pass in that game.
Marlins won 2 of 3 from Colorado. They're only 2 games out in the wild card race. Ground ball to third. Jeff Blum takes care of it. 1 out. As you mentioned, JD, this Florida team is on just a tear that hasn't been seen for a while. 13 straight games with 10 hits or more. 99 Red Sox, the last team to do that. And only 10 teams have longer streaks in the modern era with 10 hits or more. Last team to have more than 13 straight games was the 1929 New York Giants. Now it's Ross Glode.
And that's a football team.
Glode at .272 with 4 homers, 22 runs batted in. Good slider there, makes it a 1-1 count. Glode's been a fine pinch hitter for the Marlins this season. And a walk-off homer against Atlanta July 28th. That one hits for right field. Hunter Pence over toward the corner. 2 down.
Right back in there with that same slider. And Glode came up empty in the previous swing. This time he put a pretty good swing on it. 2 quick outs here for Bud. Ground ball to third. Now this fly ball to right field. Again, Norris' game plan, fastball, slider, changeup. The changeup is primarily a weapon who's used to lefties. Right-handed hitters will see fastballs and sliders. You can work up in the zone with a fastball that will reach 95, 96 miles an hour at times.
Manny Ramirez bangs one into right field. What a hitting machine. He leads the National League in batting average, .356, and bumps it up a little bit with that single to right.
And we talk about the Marlins getting 10 hits or more in every game in the last 13. Hanley's probably got at least 2. You know, in each game, you can kind of pencil him in. Most of the guys have to chip in the other 8.
Yeah, he has 44 hits now. This is his 28th game on that span. Jorge Cantu at 280 with 12 homers has 66 runs batted in. And the fastball's right there for strike 1 for Bud Norris. Marlins have won 8 of their last 10. They're 4.5 behind the Phillies in the NL East. Runner takes off. Here's the throw from his knees on one bounce from Coast. Not in time. Stolen base number 23 for Hanley Ramirez.
Hanley Ramirez is the complete package. High average hitter, hits for power, has speed. And still a very young player. Hanley just 25 years of age, I believe. 25, 26, something like that.
Now he's there in scoring position with an 0-2 count. Chris Coast gets high marks from the Astros pitchers for the quiet way in which he receives the pitch.
How do they know? Haven't seen him catch much.
They haven't worked very much, have they? But in the bullpen, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's only caught a few innings, but he's caught several games, of course, with the Phillies.
Any kind you want.
Cold beverages available there.
Settle in, folks. Have a beverage, enjoy a ball game.
Tap foul. Cantu with a 1-2 count still. He's played third and first base for this Marlins club this season. Now Coast out for a quick word with Bud Norris.
Cantu fouled off a pretty good pitch there to stay alive, and probably just a little conversation. Here's what I'm thinking. Want to try this? And this might be a good heater in. Maybe they'll go back slider off the plate.
Hit the shortstop. And Miggy takes care of out number 3. No runs ahead and the man left. No score. AT&T brings you the Astros starting lineup, and this is a rematch of Nolasco versus Norris from a few days ago in Florida. AT&T showing you Michael Bourne in center field, Miguel Tejada at shortstop, Lance Berkman at first base, Carlos Lee sizzling in the month of August in left field, Jeff Blums at third with Hunter Pence in right field, Kazuo Matsui at second base, Chris Coates the catcher for Bud Norris.
Astros really touched up Ricky Nolasco when they saw him last week for the season. He's 8-8 with a 5.44 ERA. Really struggled early. Has been much better of late, except for that beatdown he took from the Astros hitters in Florida. It's fastball, curveball, slider, and a split finger pitch for Nolasco. Defensively, he's got Conklin, Ross, and Hermida covering the outfield tonight. Cantu struggles a little bit defensively. Ramirez and Uggla in the middle. Ross Gloat in there at first for Nick Johnson.
Bouncer through his legs. Hanley Ramirez fielding behind second, and he makes the play. On a one bounce throw to Ross Gloat, right through the legs of Nolasco, and then it almost hit second base. Ramirez was able to get Bourne.
Yeah, you know, they talk about a seeing eye base hit, and that ball had eyes. That ball was blind. It had every opportunity to deflect off Nolasco, and they did get it off the base. Any number of things could have worked in Michael's favor there. But alas, he's out. Good pick there by Gloat. Nice play by Ramirez.
Now Miguel Tejada got a rare day off on Sunday in Milwaukee. Yesterday a scheduled day off. He returns to the lineup with a .313 average, 10 homers, 68 driven in.
And that ball did hit Nolasco's leg. If it doesn't, it probably goes unchecked into center field.
Ball one to Miggy. He's hitting .342 here at Minute Maid Park this season. Trying to snap an 0 for 15 right now. That's why he got a rest on Sunday. 2 balls, no strikes as they settle in out in the Crawford boxes. Tejada did come in to play the 9th inning at shortstop on Sunday, and the Astros win 8-5 at Milwaukee. It's 3 balls, no strikes. This is the first time he's been hitless in 4 straight games since July of 08. Nolasco catches the outside edge, and it's a 3-1 count.
Nolasco has exhibited pretty good control this year. Just 32 walks in 127 innings coming into this ball game, and Miggy almost never walks.
Fly ball heads up the right field line, headed for the seats. Jeremy Hermida over. Good play. 3-2.
All those guys brought their gloves.
Yeah, they did.
A little pickup game up in the concourse.
They're making their way in. They haven't missed much yet. That fan is glad he got here early. Guys look like ball players.
They must play for Hollister.
3-2 to Miggy. And he hits that into center field. Cody Ross backing. It's a hanging slider, but Nolasco got away with it for out number 2. Nolasco didn't get away with much in his last start. Worst outing as a major leaguer, 3 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 10 earned runs.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mental gut check when you have an outing like that and your very next start is against a club that put that kind of a hurting on you. It's funny how your mind works as a pitcher. Sometimes when you've dominated the club, you're more concerned going into the next start going, oh, they're going to figure me out now.
Yeah.
And Nolasco, I'm sure his mindset is, you know, how much worse can it get? Just do my thing, be free and easy.
Ball 1 to Lance Berkman, 272, 18 homers, 57 runs batted in. Lance hits one to center field, sending Ross back, way back toward Tal's Hill, up on the hill, and that one's off the wall. It kicks back down the hill. Rolling back towards second base, a long double for Berkman. His 23rd double, narrowly missing a home run.
I bet you he hasn't hit 5 balls that hard all year. And Lance talks a lot how this ballpark actually takes away from his game, and that's a great example of it there. He loves to hit the ball in center field, has great power to center field, but it's so big here. And this is out of just about any other ballpark. 436 to straightaway center. It's one of the great idiosyncrasies of this ballpark. That ball stays in play, and you can hit one 317 to left, get jammed, and hit a home run.
Hit just to the left of that area, and now it's Carlos Lee coming up. Lance had an RBI double in that 5-run first off Nolasco last Wednesday in Florida. 313 for Carlos, 19 bombs. He's driven in 74. That one's to left. Good distance. He's into the home run trot. 2-run shot for El Caballo, number 20. 2-0 Astros with another first against Nolasco. 76 runs batted in.
Is that the first one since 300?
Yes, it is. Number 301 for El Caballo.
Astros obviously saw the ball very well off Nolasco last time, and good indications here in the early going tonight.
He ends a drought since belting that milestone 300th. That was on August 8th. It's been 33 at bats. 269 for Jeff Blum with 9 homers, 44 driven in. Strike one to Jeff.
This is the guy that's gotten it going in the power department.
Yes. Leads the club since the All-Star break in homers.
And there's the breakdown on Jeff. May, June, just 1 home run combined. And July and August, he has 8, 7 since the All-Star break.
And Hunter Pence both with 7 since the All-Star break. Strikeout for Nolasco, but the Astros drop a 2 spot on him. It started with 2 outs, nobody on. Berkman crushed the ball to center field. Lee, homer to left, 2-0 Astros.
Astros on Saturday for Faith and Family Night at Minute Maid as they take on the Diamondbacks at 6:05. Gates open at 2 p.m. to hear a testimony from an Astros player and enjoy a pregame concert by 9-time Dove Award-winning Christian group Mercy Me. The pregame event requires a concert voucher in addition to your regular game ticket. For more information and tickets, go to astros.com/faithandfamily. Brownie?
Thank you, Bart. There is strike one, and it's John Baker leading it off in the second inning. He had a big series against the Astros in Florida, going 6 for 14. 3 straight 2-hit games, and then he took a rest In the fourth. That's a strike for Bud Norris, and he's jumped out in front 0-2 on a 281 hitter with 8 homers, 38 runs batted in. Baker was 2 for 3 against Norris 6 days ago. First time Bud has faced the club for the second time in the National League. 1-2. Baker's a .407 career hitter against the Astros.
Yeah, so obviously Bud does not have the element of, hey, we've never seen this guy, we don't know what he throws. He doesn't have that working for him. What he does have is a plus fastball. That's a strikeout pitch for him. Up in the zone, coming down and in here.
2-2. Bud was 4-9 at Round Rock with a 2.63 ERA when he was called up. Pitched in relief before his first major league start. Grounded to the right side. Matsui gobbles it up to his left. 1 out. Now it's Dan Uggla, the slugging second sacker. Ugla's become one of only 2 second basemen to have 20 homers or more in each of his first 4 major league seasons. The Yankees' Joe Gordon was the other back in the 30s and early 40s. Uggla has 21 homers, 62 runs batted in, and a .240 average. His average is down compared to previous years, but the other numbers are on about the same pace that he has set. There's strike 1 to Uggla.
And, you know, he draws some walks. He's a fairly patient hitter and obviously brings power to that position. Really provides a lot of depth to this Marlin lineup. And we talked about this when we were in Florida. When you've got that kind of power down at the bottom of the order, it makes for a very dangerous situation for the opposing pitcher. Uggla hitting 6th with 21 home runs. Ross hitting 7th, has hit 20 home runs.
There's a shot to third. Blum right there. 2 outs.
I don't really think of Bud Norris as a ground ball pitcher, but he's got 4 of them already here this evening.
Yeah. Blummer's really had a steady year at third base. 2 down. Now it's Cody Ross. Ross with 20 homers, 66 runs batted in, and a .271 average. Very good numbers for a number 7 hitter. And strike 1 to Cody. He had 6 hits and a doubleheader on Sunday for a club record for the Marlins. They split that doubleheader with Colorado. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Ross, 28 years old, from New Mexico. Takes that one for strike 2. He's a .341 career hitter against the Astros. A lot of these Marlins players have very good numbers against Houston. Bouncer slowly hit. Bud Norris brings that into out number 3. 3 ground ball outs for Bud in the second inning and a 2-0 Astros lead. 2-0. Lance Berkman with a double. Carlos Lee with a homer. Coming up later in our Dodge Grab Live feature, we'll find out what's in Lance Berkman's pockets. Hunter Pence had a big road trip. Brings a 3-game hitting streak into this game tonight. 287 average, 18 homers, 56 runs batted in for Hunter. Hit 4 homers, drove in 10 on the road trip. Ball one upstairs from Nolasco, and Pence hit a 3-run homer off Nolasco in that game in Florida. Hunter had a pair of 3-run homers. A 6 RBI night. Sharp breaking ball, and he tried to check his swing. The appeal went down to first base. Ball 2. Matsui on deck. Then Coast is due up third in the inning.
I'm getting nervous watching Hunter.
Are you?
Yeah.
All movement, isn't it? He makes you nervous.
Like a thoroughbred getting ready to run the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
Get him in the gate.
2-1. Took a good fastball there. But reading a story about the Angels was interesting today. Bobby Abreu has changed the culture of that club. He takes a lot of hittable pitches. A little dribbler, Baker, bare hands and throws to get him. And the story indicated that Abreu's effect has worn off on the other guys, and they're now going into deeper counts, and they have been the best offensive team around this year. And they attribute a lot of that to the presence of Abreu.
Yeah, he's always been among the league leaders in pitches seen per at bat. If you want to break down all the deep into the statistics, Bobby Abreu. And I remember even back when he was a young player, a lot of people think that's something a player grows into. But when he was a very young player with the Astros, that was his game plan. A lot of deep counts. And when we faced him as a Philly, it seemed like he was in a full count in just about every at bat.
Matsui bunts. It's foul. Strike one to Caswell, a 243 hitter with 5 homers, 29 runs batted in. He had that special moment in Milwaukee, getting his 2000th professional hit, and he was honored in the Golden Players Club, known as the Meikyukai in Japan, with that special blazer after the game from his former manager with the Seibu Lions. He had struggled before that and wound up with a 172 batting average on the road trip. So maybe with a sigh of relief he moves on now that the bubble has burst as far as the pressure of getting that hit.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where everybody knows he's eventually going to get it, but as it nears and the anticipation builds and the media is following him from city to city and his former manager flies in, I think he started to press a little bit trying to make it happen.
That's a tough pitch. Strikeout number 2 for Nolasco.
It's a split finger pitch and a dandy. Well, Nolasco, he realizes he's got to get things turned around here. The way the Astros abused him last time and the way this game started, it's time for a pitcher to fight back.
Chris Coast looks at strike one. 237 for Chris with 2 homers, 16 runs batted in. Last Wednesday in Florida, Norris got the win. Nolasco got KO'd in the 4th. It's a 1-1 count. Change of venues, a change of conditions. It's not hot and humid for them the way it was last week. Whack to left field. That hook's foul. 1-2 to Coast. So Chris, who hasn't been playing a whole lot, got just 2 at bats on the road trip. Now would seem to be in for more playing time with the Astros back to 2 catchers. That's Humberto Quintero the other. Edwin Masonette is an emergency 3rd catcher. Nolasco wanted a call there, didn't get it. It's 2-2. But Norris on deck.
Yeah, Chris Coast might be a pretty good fit in this ballpark too. He's a pull hitter. Just lays off that breaking ball just a hair outside. But, you know, I suspect that he would hit for a high average. He's been around long enough. He's not a great hitter, but he can take advantage of the Crawford boxes with his swing. He leans out and has the ability to hook pitches away from him.
Drayden McClain was at the news conference today along with Ed Wade, and they were asking, media was asking a lot of questions of them about the Pudge Rodriguez deal, which they answered. They did not set out to make that deal. 3-2. Pudge had cleared waivers. The Texas Rangers had not claimed him on waivers. Then their catcher Jared Saltalamacchia was injured, and the Rangers called the Astros last Friday night asking to make a deal for Pudge. Drayden said Tom Hicks, the Rangers owner, called him on Saturday asking to help him make that deal, and he said, well, make us a strong offer. We'll consider it. Foul back, and the trade was announced today. And Pudge in Arlington tonight. We'll have to check and see if he's in the starting lineup for that game for the Rangers. Well, he's not reporting until tomorrow. He was driving up today, we understood. Should physically be there by now. Nolasco gets a strikeout. That's number 3. He enjoys a 1-2-3 second inning, but the Astros lead it 2-0 after 2.
Great Tris Speaker, he had this to say about Babe Ruth. Ruth made a grave mistake when he gave up pitching. Working once a week, he might have lasted a long time and become a great star. Tris Speaker, a marvelous player. Not so good when it comes to evaluating talent.
Really not.
Things worked out pretty good for the Babe.
Third inning begins with Jeremy Hermida as those fans watch from the Landry's Crawford boxes in left field. Hermida, the right fielder, takes ball 1. 255, 11 homers, 44 runs batted in for Hermida. He's had 384 bats this season. He smacks one into right field. Hit number 2 for the Fish. Hermida's aboard for the pitcher, Nolasco. Nolasco has 6 hits in 32 at-bats this season, and he's dropped down 7 sacrifice bunts. He looks at Bo Porter, the third base coach, for signs. Bud Norris, the first Astros rookie to win his first 3 career starts in club history. Wanted to first base. Berkman takes a glance at second, tossing to Matsui. Sacrifice, 1 out.
See, the beauty of that play for Ricky Nolasco is that he bunted the first pitch. So many guys go up there in a sacrifice situation and for whatever reason take that first pitch fastball right there, probably the easiest pitch to bunt. And then things can get a little dicey from there. If you're up there to bunt, you get a good one, go ahead and put it down.
Presley, the hitting coach. A little pat for Nolasco, and it's Chris Coughlin batting. Coughlin was a third baseman most of the time in college at Mississippi. Then he was a second baseman coming up through the Marlins. but they needed him in left field, so he converted this year. Coghlan takes ball one. He looks pretty good in left field. And he looks very good in the batter's box. He scored 50 runs this season. He's trying to drive in Hermida.
And left field, probably the least demanding position on the field. So if you're going to ask a player to make a position change, asking him to move to left field is probably the way to do it.
Yeah, and left field here, easier to play than in many other big league parks, but there are some nuances with the wall. And left field in Florida is a little bit easier to play, a little bit shorter dimensions. 2 balls, 1 strike. But the way he's hit has certainly helped the Marlins. That corner can present problems out there. Fastball right there at the slot, and it's 2-2. Bob Norris has shown that ability to flip the inside corner on the hitters, JD.
He uses both sides of the plate. He really does a nice job coming into righties with it.
Swinging a foul tip. He gets a strikeout on Coghlan. Number 1.
95 with the little running action. He throws primarily 4-seam fastballs, but this has the look of a 2-seamer, the way it tails to the outside corner.
He had a lot of tail on that. Ross Gload hit a fly ball to right on a slider first time up. Yeah, Bud was very impressive in that first major league start at St. Louis against the hot Cardinal club, coming inside on those right-handed hitters with power. Matt Holliday's, the Albert Pujols of the world. He gave up just 2 hits and no runs in 7 innings for that first major league win against the first place club. He won the game 2-0. Diamondbacks got a run at Philadelphia off Pedro Martinez. They lead it 1-0 in the 3rd. Now there's a rain delay. John Garland pitching for Arizona. In the air to left field, Carlos Lee. In the 3rd, no runs, a hit. The runner stranded. 2-0 Astros. By the Ford F-150, by MD Anderson Cancer Center, and the new Quentin Tarantino movie starring Brad Pitt. It's 2-0. The Astros riding a 2-run homer in the 1st from Carlos Lee, scoring Lance Berkman, who had doubled with 2 outs. Now Bud Norris leads it off in the Astros 3rd. Not only is he off to a fine start with his arm, but also at the plate. 2 for 6 for a .333 batting average. Strike for Ricky Nolasco. Nolasco had a big year last year, going 15-8. ERA last season was 3.52. Roll to shortstop. Hanley Ramirez takes extra time. One down. Our Jack in the Box standings will show you the National League wild card. The Rockies leading the Giants by 1. The Marlins are 2 back. Braves trail by 3. Then it's the Cubs who are thinking about a change at closer. They trail by 4. It's the Brewers 7 and the Astros 8 behind.
I just read a story a little while ago that Lou Piniella has decided that Carlos Marmol will be his closer now, instead of Kevin Gregg, for the time being anyway.
Strike to Michael Bourne. Kevin Gregg giving up game-winning runs last night in San Diego.
Should name a closer. Say, I've got relief pitchers and I'll use them the way I feel I should use them.
You have a strong point there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lasco had a 4-game winning streak mid-June through early July. Some fine games in there.
Josh Johnson is the ace of the staff and one of the best pitchers in the National League. So Lasco slots in as a very capable number 2. He was their opening day guy, but Johnson clearly the ace of the staff.
It's 12-2 with a 2.85 ERA. Bourne looks at strike 3. 4th strikeout for Nolasco.
Nolasco starting to settle in after the Astros put 2 on it in the first inning. Great location there.
Marlins have made a roster change. They've sent down their 5th starter, Rick Vandenberg, to the minor leagues. They have Gabby Sanchez on their bench tonight, a corner infielder. Miguel Tejada hit a fly ball to center on a full count. Foul back, strike 1. They wanted an extra bench player because Nick Johnson's banged up with a hamstring. And they want to be able to use another bat, so Freddie Gonzalez has sent down one of his starters, and they'll make an adjustment in the rotation later.
Freddie Gonzalez, the manager of the year in the National League last year. And if the Marlins were to claim the wild card, and I'm not ruling out the division, but you'd have to think he'd have a real good shot at repeating.
Yes, sir.
Jim Tracy, of course. The Rockies have been lights out since Tracy took over out in Denver.
Florida last year finished 84-77. 1-1 to Miggy. Line to left field. And up for the catch, Coughlin. That could have been a little scary for the Marlins, but Coughlin got it done. Going up in left center for out number 3, leaving his feet, and then he snatched it. 2-0 Astros. 2-0 Florida, trailing Houston, and Bud Norris takes that breath. That's what he typically does before every inning. Just takes a moment before getting up on the mound. He goes to the 4th inning, and Ramirez, Cantu, Baker, the 3, 4, 5 spots will cause a pitcher to pause and think about this trio. There's ball 1. There's single to right his first time up. 2 balls, no strikes. Hanley Ramirez, just a phenomenal talent. Has 153 hits to lead the league. Make it one more as he singles through the left side. 2 for 2 in this game. Our Texas Ford dealers, league leaders, show you the Marlins hitting attack since July 20th. They have just been on so many pitches. They've gone 17-8. They've averaged 5.8 runs per game with a 306 batting average in 25 games, 30 homers, and a 471 slugging percentage. Big time offense, JD.
Month of August, they're averaging better than 6.5 runs per game. And for the year, 5th in the National League in runs scored.
Ball 1 to Cantu. He grounded out to short.
Phillies, Rockies, Dodgers, Brewers. And then the Marlins, top 5 in the National League. Astros currently 12th in the 16-team National League in runs scored.
Ramirez stole a base in the 1st inning. He attracts some attention there. Astros have turned 127 double plays this year. This roller goes off the foot of Cantu.
And I guess a lot of it is because the Marlins play, you know, in front of such small crowds, not considered a big market. But when you think about the Marlins personnel, you're not really wow, other than Hanley Ramirez. And you think about the Cardinals with Pujols and now Holiday. Ryan Ludwig had a big year last year. You think about the Phillies and their big lineup. You don't really think about the Marlins.
Runner going, flag down behind third. Blum with a long throw and out at first, but Hanley Ramirez is able to get to third. He was running on the pitch. Berkman was handcuffed by that one-hop throw. Got the out at first, but Ramirez just kept on going to third.
And the only way you prevent Hanley Ramirez from making third base is not to make the play. And obviously that's not an option. A good play here by Blum as he straightens up. And a tough in-between hop for Lance to handle, but he does. You see it here. You see Ramirez recognizing that there's going to be 2 long throws across the diamond, and the Astros would have no shot at him.
John Baker with the Astros playing the infielders in their normal positions. Grounded out to second. There's strike 1. And this Marlin team has just been amazing. And the ERA is not that great, 4.30, only 9th best in the National League. They've been winning with tons of offense primarily. You mentioned Johnson. He has certainly been lights out. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Angels also cutting against the grain of a first-place club, winning with offense. Their pitching is below average this season as well. That's not the usual kind of team they have. But it's working. Fly ball. Carlos Lee backing. Ramirez will tag and waltz home to make it 2-1 on the sac fly by Baker. Baker's 39th run batted in. Aflac trivia time. Let's see what we have tonight, JD. Since 1920, name the pitcher with the most wins before his first career loss. All as a starter.
I don't know.
Since 1920.
Let's see. Kurt Reeder had a real nice start to his career.
Deep drive by Ugla to right field. Hunter Pence way back to the wall, leaping, and Ugla hits an opposite field shot to tie the game 2-2. Home run number 22 for Dan Ugla. And the Marlins break out here in the 4th inning.
And see, this is what I'm talking about. You know, they're not Ugla's a name. He made the All-Star team last year. People are aware of him, but you don't, when you think of the star players in the National League, he doesn't come to mind. A solid player. Again, the depth of the lineup. This kind of power down towards the bottom of the order. Just rides that fastball the other way. Hunter, great effort. This comes up a little bit shy.
Almost got it. Now Cody Ross smacks a single into center field. Here are the Marlins coming back on the attack. Ross now 1 for 2. Third hit of the inning. Thanks to the Blum play, the Astros got one of the 2 outs on that one.
This is the kind of team that you might be better off spending more time outside of the strike zone. A lot of their hitters, Ross is not a real patient hitter. They've got some free swingers. And if you continue to challenge, if you don't have your best stuff, they can make you pay, even if you do. Good fastball hitters on this club. Fernando Valenzuela got off to a great start,
yes,
too.
He did. Jeremy Hermida single to right.
He was on TV today, as a matter of fact.
Was he?
Yeah, he was pitching against the Expos. 81 playoffs.
Big Rick Monday home run in the playoff series there. Ball got away. Retrieved by Jeff Blum.
It's kind of fun to watch all the energy and excitement at the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah.
This was rocking. Singing Valerie. And blowing the horns.
Hermida goes to a 1-1 count. Marlins really did a number offensively on the Astros in that 4-game series in Florida, averaging 8 runs per game. That's a good pitch. Kept it down. 1-2. The home run by Ugla was only the second of his career against the Astros. Hermida, the 11th player drafted in the 0-2 draft. Fouls it back. Well, we had a flurry of last-minute signings last night as those first-round draft choices fell into line. The dominoes did fall. There's Steven Strasburg of Washington Nationals and the others behind him.
Good strategy by Scott Boras, putting it out there early that the kid wanted $50 million. He looks altruistic now by accepting just 15.
Yeah. Blum with pop to end it. And the Marlins tie it with 2 runs on 3 hits and a man left. Florida 2, Houston 2. Before his first career loss, was it Fernando Valenzuela?
I fly. Woody.
Kirk Reeder, you got it. 10-0 out of the gate for Montreal in 93-94.
Fernando also started 10-0, but the first two were as a reliever. So as a starting pitcher, Kirk Reeder's 10-0 start for the Expos.
Butch Metzger started 12-0, but all those wins were in relief with San Diego when he came up.
Kirk Reeder, boy, he had a nice career.
Very nice.
You talk about a crafty left-hander.
Yep. He had a terrific percentage.
Woody, because he looked like Woody from Toy Story.
Lance Berkman ripped a double off the center field wall first time up. And Lasco, strike one.
He would make a very good pitching coach, I would guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, get your hot dogs here.
All kinds of new varieties of hot dogs available. Ken Hoffman writing about those, as we indicated earlier. Have to try them out when you come here. Those folks are doing. That's down the section 125 down the first base line. There's another stand out in center field. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One more of those before the game, and that ball Puma hit would have left the ballpark. Came up a little bit shy. A little extra oomph.
Well, maybe he should do what Babe Ruth did it.
Yeah.
A legendary appetite for hot dogs and then go out and play a ball game.
Yeah, the culture of baseball has changed just a wee bit. These guys are so aware of nutrition and weight training, and very dedicated this era of baseball player.
Yes. Strikeout for Nolasco. That's number 5. Our Reliant power play takes you back. Winning number 1. Carlos Lee hit number 301 of his career.
He came on the heels of a 430-plus foot double from Lance Berkman. So Nolasco, after 2 quick outs, was rocked back to back. Set back on his heels a little bit, but since then he has not allowed an Astro to reach base.
8 straight outs. Ball 1 to Carlos. Carlos's home run was his 140th hit. He is 7th in the league in hits. It's a 1-1 count for Nolasco. Angels 5, Indians 3, top of the 6th inning in Cleveland. Rangers are in that furious wild card race. They are leading the wild card in the American League by 1 over Boston. As they welcome Pudge Rodriguez back. That could be another one. Deep to left center field. Caught by Cody Ross. 2 outs.
You know, I was down chatting with Freddie Gonzalez, and everybody Chuck Poole. And the Astros was fishing MVP today. I was kind of watching Carlos swing out of the corner of my eye. He was flushing the ball MVP. Of course, usually the hitter will tell you that's neither here nor there. But you can make a prediction based on the guy's BP. It looked like he was going to have a good night.
Jeff Blum struck out first time up. That's ball 1.
Hitters will tell you that's hogwash.
Yeah. Colorado 2, Washington 2. They've played 7 in Washington. Brad Hopp hit a 17.
It was hogwash anyway.
That's a good question. It probably, I would just guess, since it's a derogatory term, that's not clean water they use to wash those hogs. It's not quality stuff, JD. 2 balls and a strike. Seattle and Detroit tied 1-1 after 7. That one drops in. On Nolasco, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll get some emails, though. We'll find out what's really behind that.
I'm Googling it here, and somebody's got a recipe for hogwash.
Oh, great. That's very appetizing.
Looks pretty good.
Let's go back to the hot dogs. Oh, swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout. Blummer looking back at Phil Cuzzy.
Well, Cuzzy was signaled foul ball. Now they're asking now, he's been getting some help from Scott Berry down there. So yep, the ball was in the dirt. The run was alive. And Roscoe, Kazi indicated a foul tip. So the question was the ball caught or not? And when asked for help, Berry said the ball hit the dirt before it was caught by Baker. Ready out for just looking for an explanation. No real beef.
Foul ball. Let's see it.
Definitely hit the ground. I'm not sure if Jeff got a piece of it because he's indicating that he did, but he may have heard the ball hit the ground.
Yeah. Let's see if the bat hit. Can't tell. Right off the end of the bat.
Might have caught a break.
Maybe so. That's ball 3. That's the way Jeff swung at that pitch. Didn't look like he really saw it all that well out of the pitcher's hand. Now it's 3-2. Gets him. 83 miles per hour, dipped sharply and strikeout. Number 6 for Nolasco. He's retired 10 in a row in a 2-2 game. Is brought to you by Geico, by Reliant Energy, by Dodge, and by Whataburger. Marlins 2, Astros 2. We move to the 5th inning, and Bud Norris working to Ricky Nolasco. Throws strike 1. Nolasco put down a sac bunt in the 3rd inning. Norris goes to a 1-1 count with Coughlin and Glow to follow here. The Astros have won 8 of their last 10 here at home from Florida. Put it down. 2 balls and a strike.
Not a real big crowd here tonight, but certainly a lot more than the Marlins are used to playing in front of at home. Astro with evil intentions with that swing.
Yes. Let the bat fly. Norris gets a foul tip strikeout. That's number 2.
Hogwash.
Bart?
Well, Bronny, we want to remind fans that the Astros and Diamondbacks continue a weekend series on Saturday at 6:05. You want to get to that game early, as the first 10,000 fans will receive a special bronze Craig Biggio bust collectible, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Walmart. This collectible is the final piece in the special Bagwell Biggio collectible set. And don't forget, kids are free all summer. To get your tickets, go to 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com.
Thank you, Bart. There's a foul ball by Coughlin. Coughlin's 0 for 2 in this game. Pirates lead the Brewers 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th at Pittsburgh with Ross Ohlendorf pitching. Manny Parra started and went 6 for Milwaukee.
How'd he do?
Gave up 3 runs. Is he on your fantasy team?
Yeah, this is it. Got to play my way into the playoffs. This is the final weekend. Right now I'm on the outside looking in.
Oh, big week for JD.
How are you guys doing? How's your club?
We're dead.
Dead in the water?
We were dead the 1st of May. Eliminated by May 20th or something. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Delwyn Young hit his 6th home run for the Pirates. Prince Fielder, number 32 for Milwaukee. Hastings Millage, number 1 for Pittsburgh.
Okay, hogwash. I looked it up.
Okay, what do you think?
Wash in this sense is swill, or quote, liquid or partly liquid food refuse from the kitchen. A bucket full of kitchen scraps and leftovers that are given to the hogs, the pigs, to eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That wash, you would think it was something you take a bath in.
Yeah.
Well, I probably don't really bathe hogs, do you?
Probably
Roll
no
around in
need.
the mud, don't they?
No need. You can't really dress them up and take them anywhere. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Kids.
Say hi. Can you wave at the camera? Wave at the camera.
Nice.
He's locked up.
Swing and a miss, and Coughlin strikes out.
Look out! Jeepers. He just fired that ball. Chris just fired the ball to Lance. This is a creature of habit. It, must be Chris when he's with the Phillies or other clubs would throw the ball around the horn. And most clubs don't throw the ball to the first baseman. So Lance isn't expecting it. And this ball sails right over Lance's head.
Whoa. That woke him up. There's a new order here in town. Ross Gload is a batter. He's 0 for 2.
Not a good way to lobby for more playing time. Hit the star player in the forehead with a missile from 90 feet away.
Picked off by the catcher. Strike 1 to Gload. Fly ball softly hit to left field. Carlos Lee. And in the 5th, it goes quickly for Bud Norris. The game is tied 2-2.
Welcome back to Minute Maid Park. 2-2 as we move to the bottom of the 5th. Hey, Astros fans, we've extended the Price Matters Days presented by HEB. Got 10 more dates in September. You can get a ticket, hot dog, chips, and soda for just $10. That is a sweet deal. Baseball and a meal for just $10. The Price Matters Day is this Sunday against the Diamondbacks. That's the next one. To get your tickets, of course, you go to Astros.com. Brownie.
Thank you, Bart. Hunter Pence leads it off. 10 straight have been set down by Ricky Nolasco in a 2-2 game. It's going to be foul and not playable by Jeremy Hermida. Strike 1. Nolasco's into a nice rhythm. Chris Coast talking to Lance Berkman.
I like to throw it to first. Let's just throw it back to the pitcher.
Yeah. 1-1. Here's that throw.
Thank goodness.
Lynch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hunter. Red Sox 7, Blue Jays 7 at the end of 6 in Toronto. Great swing on a heater at 94. That's strikeout number 7 from Velasco.
Not the same guy that we saw last time. Not the same guy we saw in the first inning here tonight. Man, he was getting tough. Commanding the outside corner with his fastball to the righties, and his changeup has been devastating against the left-handed hitters.
It does look like the guy we saw last September at Florida, only won 14-2, giving up 2 runs in 7 innings. That's where Matsui was strike 1. Oh.
Call just went out for the Rally Dogs.
This one could wind up a pretty good pitcher's duel the way it's developing now. Foul ball, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. This coast is on deck. Astros have 2 hits. They both came in the first inning. Marlins have 5. It's 2-1 in that Red Sox Blue Jays game. Josh Beckett, the 14-game winner in the American League, started but didn't fare well. 5 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 earned runs allowed. Foul ball, out of play.
Fastball right there for Kaz, just a little bit late.
Copy David Ortiz at his 18th homer. It came off Ricky Romero of Toronto. Roll to Hanley Ramirez. 2 down and nipped Kaz. That's Chris Coast. Coast struck out in the 2nd inning. Chris's first start since August 8th here against Milwaukee. Got a couple of hits and drove in 2 runs in that game. Fouls it for strike 1. Texas just put up 4 in the home 3rd to lead Minnesota 5-0 after 3. No balls, 2 strikes. There's the press box. The top of the field level seats where Art Howe is hanging out. Greg Lucas.
Look up, Kevin.
Kevin Eschenfelder. Strikeout for Nolasco. That is number 8. He's retired 13 in a row, and through 5 it's tied at 2. Grab Live feature. Here's Lance Berkman on what's in his pockets.
Probably my cell phone jammed in there with got an earpiece that I use, and I always have to fish it out of there. It rings, and it takes me about 20 minutes to get it out of my pocket. Just standard car keys. Got to carry a billfold. That's it.
Right now, nothing in his pockets. It's a 2-2 ball game as he gets set to play first base at the top of the 6th inning. And Ramirez with strike one. Ramirez is 2 for 2 in this game.
And he's hit one through the hole between first and second, and one through the hole between third and short. So I imagine he's going to be looking to shoot one up the middle here.
This one goes to right field. Hunter Pence backing on it. One out. Ramirez, a .430 career hitter against the Astros for 93 at-bats coming into this game. He's retired for the first time tonight. And it's Jorge Cantu. Cantu grounded to short, and then he hit one behind third. Blum, the sliding play, got up and threw him out. Good play by Berkman on the other end in the 4th inning. Ramirez went first to third on that. And then he scored on a sac fly by Baker, and Ugla homered next to tie the game at 2. Kinsler hit a 3-run shot tonight for the Rangers. That's his 26th of the year. The ball's 2 strikes. He got beamed a few nights ago. Got up and hit a home run. He's hit about 2 more since then. In the air to left field, Carlos Lee tracking it over toward the line, looking up, and that's a go-ahead home run.
And Carlos asking for fan interference there. And Scott Berry said no. And Coop's going to come out and chat. This poor lady doesn't know what to do. The fans are yelling at her, throw it back. And she's thinking, like that kids, get a souvenir. And she's asking Carlos if he wants it. Don't throw it back. Keep the souvenir. Cantu showing a quick bat on that high inside fastball. Doesn't get a lot of it, but gets enough of it. And that's what we talked about earlier. Lance Berkman's ball, not a home run. This turns out to be a home run. Fans having a game of catch with Carlos now. She threw it down to him. He threw it back to her. No, nobody reached over.
No.
It's going to stand up.
The umpires could decide to review it, but they seem sure of their call. And for Cantu, that's home run number 13. 67 runs batted in and a 3-2 Marlin lead.
Yeah, and I think if Coop really forced the issue there, they probably would be willing to take a look at it. But I imagine the conversation went something like this, where Coop said, did you see it definitively? And Barry said, yeah. If you want us to look at it, we will, but I saw it. Clearly it was out of the ballpark. Play on.
Now Baker looks at ball 1. Baker's grounded out and hit a sac fly to left. Marlins are 7th in home runs. They've hit 120 now. That one was cranked to left center field. Well hit ball by Baker. That one hops a bullpen fence. He's headed for second base. A double for Baker. His 23rd of the year. Hit number 7 for the Fish.
Trying to go inside with the fastball, and you see that heater run right back to the middle of the plate. And when you pitch up in the zone, as Bud does, you get a lot of strikeouts up there, but you also give up a lot of extra base hits.
Drew Robinson out for a word. Britt Burns, the Astros roving minor league pitching coordinator, is here in town. Had a chance to visit with him a little bit before the game tonight. He had planned to be here for these 2 games, tonight and tomorrow night, and it just so works out that he's seeing Bud Norris and Norman Bizzardo We were both at Round Rock earlier this year. Those are the two guys he wanted to see. And Uglo looks at ball one.
And Mike Hampton put on the disabled list tonight. Felipe Paulino on his way back to Houston. So the Astros pitching staff getting a fair bit younger here in recent weeks.
It's 2-0. Tomorrow night, Bizzardo faces lefty Sean West, who was born in Houston. He beat the Astros in Florida. And Thursday night, it's Wandy Rodriguez and 12-game winner Josh Johnson. Baker at second with a 2-0 count on Uglo. 2-1.
Thursday game should be a dandy. Wandy looking to bounce back from an ugly one in Milwaukee. Josh Johnson, like Wandy, he's been one of the best pitchers in the National League this year.
Well, they certainly have two of the best ERAs in the league. 2.85 for Johnson, 3.05 for Rodriguez. Wandy got his Pitcher of the Month award for the National League for July before the game tonight. Striking, it's 2-2 for Bud Norris, who's thrown 77 pitches tonight. To lead off the bottom of the sixth inning. And the Astros making that trade for Pudge Rodriguez today. Pudge going to Texas for right-handed reliever Matt Navarez. He'll be headed for Lexington. Ground ball up the middle, a long way to cover. And Miggy has no play, holds on to it. That's the wise play. First and third one out. As Uglo got a hit behind second base.
Well, not a lot of good fortune for Bud Norris in this inning. The home run that Cantu hit, not all that well struck. This ball not hit that hard. Miggy wisely holds on. The key there, just keep the ball in the infield, prevent that run from scoring. So we've got the double play in order here.
Cody Ross got a hit in the fourth inning, a line drive single to center. He's 1 for 2. Ross has grounded into 12 double plays. Norris gets strike one. Matt Navarez been pitching at A-ball at Hickory. Has 9 saves at 2.83 ERA. He's 22 years old. 6'5", 220. He's drafted by the Rangers in 05 in the 10th round. Foul ball. Hit by the pitch, yeah. He's hit on the arm by that pitch, so the bases are loaded now.
Bud's asking, didn't he swing?
Well, if he swung, it's a strike, and it hit him.
No, he didn't swing. Another bit of bad luck.
First hit batsman for Norris. Bases loaded now for Hermida. Hermida single to right and pop to third. Big flashpoint in this game right here.
Some Burdack loosening in the Astros pen, but he's not ready for this confrontation. It's up to Bud Norris with Hermida and then the pitcher spot up next.
Ball one to Hermida, who's taken 50 walks this season. First out to the mound.
Hermida hit a grand slam in his very first major league at bat. Pinch hitting for Brian Moore.
This season he's 1 for 7 with the bases loaded. They are loaded right now with Baker at third. Uglo at second. First, Cody Ross. Now it's 2-0. Marlins have 8 hits. Make this the 14th straight game with 10 hits or more.
Good pitch. That's a situation there, and credit Norris, credit Chris Crows too. I think a lot of young pitchers, bases loaded 2-0 there, would feel compelled to challenge with the fastball. And they came with the slider. It's just smart pitching. It indicates confidence in the breaking ball, but also a willingness to walk in a run if need be, as opposed to give in to a guy who's got some legitimate pop.
Ripped into right field. That'll score Baker. Ugla gets a stop sign, and it's 4-2. RBI single for Hermida, his 45th run batted in. Ugla to third and Ross to second.
They came back with a slider one more time. This time topped more of the plate, and it was up a little bit. Bill Porter quickly with the stop sign for Ugla. That ball hit sharply to right field, and Hunter Pence got on it in a hurry. So the Marlins now just one hit away from double digits yet again.
Now bases loaded for Nolasco, who put down a sac bunt in third and struck out in the fifth. Strike one to him. Oglin's on deck.
Nolasco took some pretty aggressive swings in his last at bat, but he's pulling off of everything. Looks like he's figuring out maybe a chance to hit this ballpark once a year, and sometimes not even that. I might as well try to jerk one. Just stay away, away, away.
Norris wants the signs again. Coast going out to talk. Norris's ERA for his first 3 starts and 1 relief appearance, 3.00. He gave up 4 earned runs in 5 innings in his last start. It's 1-1 to Nolasco.
Kind of ironic when you look at Bud's games so far. The games where he's walked people, he's been better in. 4 walks against the Cardinals, but allowed just 2 hits and no runs. Had 5 walks against the Brewers in 6 innings, allowed just 2 runs. Last time out, he walked only 1, but gave up 5 runs in 5 innings.
2-1 now. Tied in Cincinnati. The Giants 5, the Reds 5. Bottom of the 8th inning. That's when Bailey started. Squeeze. Yeah, it was a bases loaded squeeze, and he fouled it back over the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Cubs tried that.
Yeah, they did. Didn't work out real well.
No, missed the bunt.
They won the game, and Buchanan was able to laugh it off. Swing and a miss by Nolasco. He strikes out. 2 outs now. Strikeout number 4.
Interesting situation here. You've got a lefty up, Chris Coghlan, one of the hottest hitters in the league. You've got Burdak, the lefty, ready in the bullpen. Coghlan 0 for 3 off Bud Norris tonight. He's punched out his last 2 times up.
So this is the matchup for the 4th time. Coghlan was 0 for 2 against Bud in Florida.
Which, you know, the fact that he's seeing him for the 4th time also weighs into it as a manager debates what to do. He's 0 for 3 off him with a couple of strikeouts, but he's getting his 4th look at my guy.
Two 2-0. Votto hit his 18th home run of the year. That came off Lincecum. Uribe belted number 6. Came off Homer Bailey. Lincecum gave up 5 earned runs in 6 innings tonight. Now 3-0. Bud Norris in Gray, California. round pick of the Astros in the '06 draft. Ball 4, walks in a run. It's 5-2. Coghlan gets his 34th run batted in. And Ross Globe will be coming up.
But overthrowing a little bit in that at bat. Back into the corner, there's a tendency to do that. You reach back to try to find a little something extra, and when you do it, you lose control of your pitches.
94 pitches for Bud Norris. He takes his lead with Tim Burdack headed in. The score 5-2 Marlins. Back in a moment. Wireless calling in lefty Tim Burdack. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3 runs home in a 5-2 game.
A big situation here for Tim as he comes in to face the left-handed hitting Ross Globe. Astros down 3. Nolasco on top of his game, so he can't afford to give up any more here. Tim working for the 52nd time. 1-1 with a 3.27 ERA. Scoreless baseball his last 4 trips. Early on in the year, lefties were doing pretty good against him, but since the end of May, left-handed hitters just 139.
Ross Globe is 0 for 3 in this game. Burdack pitched twice in that series at Florida. Total of 3 1/3 innings. Hitless ball in that series. There's strike 1. Marlins batting around here in the 6th inning.
Did that 2 or 3 times in the series in Florida.
It's 0-2 for Burdack.
Pretty nasty slide piece right there.
Yes, it was. Tim had a 1-batter appearance Sunday, and that worked out for him in Milwaukee. Good stop by Coase. 1-2. He got Craig Counsell on a strikeout in Sunday's game. Faced 1 batter Saturday night as well. Prince Fielder had a sacrifice fly off him. In his last 4 outings, he's not allowed a hit. Total of 4 innings. Roll to shortstop. Tejada with a toss to Matsui for the forced play on Coghlan. The Marlins snap the tie with 3 runs in the 6th inning on 4 hits. They strand 3. It's 5-2 Florida. It's the Coors Light sixth inning. We'll check out the Frost Brewed Coors Light freeze cam, showing you the freeze of a swing. The powerful left fielder Carlos Lee, who hits home run number 20 in the first inning to make it 2-0 Astros. But since then, the Marlins have stormed back with 2 in the fourth. They tied it with 3 in the top of the sixth. They have the lead 5-2. Now the Astros come up in the bottom of the sixth inning. Pinch hitter Darren Erstad batting for Tim Burdack against Ricky Nolasco. He looks at strike one.
And freeze cam showing the home run, also freezing the Astros bats. Nothing since.
13 straight retired by Nolasco since that homer. Erstad fouls it for an 0-2 count. Darren with that number you saw on the screen for 107 at bats. He is 10 for 39 as a pinch hitter with 1 homer, 6 runs batted in. Bourne and Tejada to follow in the Houston sixth inning. Erstad takes that one. Darren facing this pitcher for the first time. He's 3 for 7 with a homer against the Marlins this season, and he's driven in 4. And it's 2-2 for Nolasco, now clearly in a spot to win number 9 of the season for him. Erstad puts it in the air to left. Coughlin over.
He's a pitcher who has clearly gotten his mojo back.
Boy.
In Florida, when we took that tight shot of him, he had that look in his eyes like the deer in the headlights. And now he's kind of, bring it on, boys. He's the predator right now.
Bud Norris went 5 2/3 innings, allowing 9 hits, 5 runs, walking 1, fanning 4, hitting a batter. Tim Burdack retiring the only man he faced. Sammy Hervasio in the bullpen.
We talked about Bud, his 2 best starts when he struggled a little bit with his control, or at least walked more batters. It'd be interesting to hear the conversation. When a pitching coach went up to a young pitcher and say, "Hey, you know what? You need to walk more guys." That'd be a tough sell.
Yes, it would be.
Gee, Coach, I've been playing this game since I'm 9, and nobody ever told me that one before.
Bourne bounces, a diving play by Glode. 2 down. What's on tap with the Astros is brought to you by Bud Light. It's Sean West, the big 6'8 lefty born in Houston, going tomorrow against Yorman Bizzardo, making his first start as an Astro. 6:30 for Astros Live. Then Thursday night, Josh Johnson and Wandy Rodriguez duel. Also 6:30 for Astros Live. Both games on Fox Sports Houston. 2 outs, and it's Miguel Tejada trying to stop this string of 15 straight retired by Nolasco. He's 0 for 2. Coughlin caught his line drive in left center.
He's locked in right there. There's 95 just below the knees. And when a pitcher gets on a roll like this, a lot of times the rally cry in the opposing dugout will be, "Hey, just put him in the stretch, get him out of his rhythm, get somebody on base, and see if that can upset him a little bit."
1-1 for Nolasco, who's only thrown 76 pitches. Ball, 2 strikes.
Nolasco at 6'2". He's kind of a runt of the pitching staff. At least in the starting rotation with West at 6'8", Josh Johnson 6'7", Volstad 6'8". Andrew Miller is in the minor leagues right now. A big prospect they got in the deal with the Tigers a couple of years ago. He's 6'7".
2-2. Nolasco was drafted by the Cubs in the 4th round in 2001. He's from Corona, California. Brother David is in the Brewers organization. He's the opening day starter. Rounded foul. Nolasco is 2-5 with a 9.07 ERA, worst in the majors. He was sent to the minor leagues for a brief time, and he came back a different pitcher. He's working on throwing first pitch breaking balls for strikes. He gets a strikeout on the high rider there at 94. Strikeout number 9 for Nolasco, and through 6 he's retired 16 straight and leads at 5-2. Astros hits. Berkman doubled ahead of the Lee home run through 6. That's all they have. Dan Uggla started the comeback, and after a sac fly by Baker, he homered to tie it 2-2. That was in the 4th inning. Then Jeremy Hermitas had 2 big singles, a run batted in. In that 6th inning, he had an RBI single to right field. Ricky Nolasco has retired the last 16, and he is right now in command of a 5-2 ball game. Sammy Herbacio comes in, pitcher number 3 for the Astros. This will be his debut at Minute Maid Park.
Sammy's worked twice now for the Astros, just 2 2/3 innings. He's got a funky delivery, sidearm slinger, good running fastball. Likes to throw that slider to the right-handed hitters.
Well, a right-handed hitter is in there right now. Hanley Ramirez. He's leading the league in batting average against right-handed pitchers. There's strike 1. Ramirez 2 for 3 tonight. Rossio pitched Friday and Saturday night at Milwaukee.
That's this little toe tapping thing he does as he gets set, and then that sidearm.
On the slider, he gets strike 2.
Really an interesting delivery.
Yeah.
He flies open with his front side, but he's able to, the kind of steps towards first base, but he keeps the shoulder closed long enough to find the strike zone. But there's the toe tap till he gets settled.
Grounded to third. Jeff Blum. 1 down. Rossio, 24 years old, from the Dominican Republic. He's recalled from Round Rock.
Obviously a little history with Hanley Ramirez.
Special time when a guy first comes to the big leagues. And at 24, after pitching at AA Corpus, AAA Round Rock this year, he was at Corpus last year. He has arrived. Jorge Cantu, the batter. Ball 1 to him. He homered in the 6th inning to snap the 2-2 tie. Robbed by Jeff Blum in the 4th inning on a grounder behind third base. 1-1. Gervasio was 2-2 at Round Rock. His ERA there was 4.82 for 39 games. Pirates down the Brewers in Pittsburgh 5-2. Ross Ollendorf going to 11-8 with a win, beating Manny Parra. He's 8-9. Will hurt your fantasy club, JD.
Yeah, thought about trading him.
2 balls, 1 strike. Brewers had that hold on the Pirates. They had beaten them 17 straight times. Now Pittsburgh has turned that series around the last 3 or 4 times they've played. Foul back. Boston threw that one at 90. Boston got 3 in the top of the 8th to snap a 7-7 tie and leads Toronto 10-7. Bottom of the 8th now. The Mets 9, Atlanta 4. Bottom of the 8th at Citi Field. Range foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Marlins on 9 hits through the first 6 innings. Team batting average 266. Three and 2. Kansas City leads the White Sox 5-4. They're in the top of the 5th at Chicago. Cubs at San Diego play later tonight. That's Ryan Dempster and Cesar Carrillo. St. Louis is at Los Angeles. Mitchell Boggs and Chad Billingsley to pitch there. There's a 1-out walk to Jorge Cantu. Second walk for Astros pitchers tonight.
I hit that high inside fastball for a home run last time, so his coach decided to pitch him away, and to that end they were successful, just couldn't find the strike zone. The Dodgers had a knuckleballer pitching last night.
Charlie Hager, they called him up and he gave them 7 innings, 7 pretty good innings. Albert Pujols hit the ball about 9 miles off him, but numbers were pretty good. 30,189 he paid attendance tonight. John Baker has a double and a sac fly. They were really strapped for a starter. They wanted to push Billingsley back a day, which they did. He's going tonight. And they have a pitcher who's back on the disabled list again, Jason Schmidt.
How about the Wolfman? Did you see what he did the other day?
Yeah, he almost he needed what, a triple for the cycle. He pitched well in Arizona. Hit a long home run. 2 balls, no strikes. Dodgers are looking very good right now. A 4.5 game lead over Colorado, 5.5 on San Francisco.
Interesting though, how your perspective with their lead seems a little tenuous given where they were.
Yeah.
Not that long ago, their lead was double digits.
Yes, it was. They are 14 and 17 since the All-Star break, while Colorado's gone 18 and 12.
The Dodgers, well, they started the year, I think 13 and 0 or something like that. No, it must be the one that first took them home.
Yeah, they were 13 and 0 at home. 22 and 11 though to start. Pretty good. Baker, 1 hop. Matsui, Tejada, and Buckner turn the double play. Number 128 for the Astros this season. The mound visit paid off for Gervasio. Lou Robinson getting a pitching coach induced double play ball. 5-2 Marlins.
Check out the Chick-fil-A foul poles. Anytime an Astro player hits one of the Chick-fil-A foul poles, fans from the game can take their ticket stub to any greater Houston area Chick-fil-A. There you will receive a free Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
Well, maybe we can get one tonight. Free chicken sandwich for everybody with a homer off that foul pole.
We had one not long ago.
Lance Berkman leads it off in the 7th inning. Berkman, Lee, and Blum against Ricky Nolasco, who has been sizzling. 16 straight retired. 9 of them have struck out. This fly ball hangs in left center. Coughlin. One pitch, one out for Nolasco. Carlos Lee follows. He ripped a 2-run homer in the 1st. And then in the 4th inning, hit a warning track drive to left center field. The Rockies have posted their win 4-3 at Washington. Carlos Gonzalez was moved to the leadoff spot. And the Rockies left fielder hit home run number 7. Brad Hoff hit his 17th. And Clint Barmas unloaded his 19th.
Clint Barmas with 19 jacks.
How about that? That's really surprising. Ball 1 to El Caballo. Ubaldo Jimenez is throwing in the high 90s in the 8th. He got the win. He's 11-9. 2-0. He gave up 2 runs in 8 innings, and Houston Street closed it out for his 30th save. Two balls and 1 strike.
Rumor here says John Smoltz is strongly leaning towards signing with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Heard that today.
Dodgers, Marlins, and Rangers have all showed interest.
He would be a setup man, probably, for the Cardinals, right?
I would think.
3-1. Boston signed him to a deal for about $5 million and then released him. Hit hard to third. Cantu. 2 outs.
And Carlos has been on Nolasco all night long. He's had the best swings, hit the home run, a deep drive to center field last time, and this BB to third base.
Since Nolasco's brief trip to the minor leagues, he has returned to go 6-3 with a 3.55 ERA and 13 starts. Quality starts in 9 of 13. Jeff Blum faces him now. He struck him out twice. Rolled out to second. Nolasco has set down 19 in a row, and through 7 the Marlins lead the Astros 5-2.
1973, the Bull, Bob Watson, he threw out 2 Phillies from the outfield. He was known to do that in a 3-2 win at the Dome. Doubled home Roger Metzger, clearly the player of the game. Lee May had a 2-run shot for the game winner. Jim Ray gets the win. Dave Roberts left in the first. Not a whole lot going on in that Dayton Astros history, but the Bull had a good day.
Yes, he did. 5-2, the Marlins lead it. They're batting in the 8th inning with Dan Ugla, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Sammy Hervasio runs it in on him. There's strike 1. Detroit beat Seattle 5-3 in Detroit with 4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Giving Bobby C. the victory in relief of Rick Porcello.
Hervasio's delivery is so funky, I keep thinking he's going to fall over.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough for the hitters. Now, the little gyration he's got as he gets set. Sometimes you bring a little something different to the table and it has to work to your advantage, especially when you, as a reliever, you're pitching an inning or 2 at a time, so the hitters don't get a second look at you. I saw a documentary the other night on Louis Tiant and how he reinvented himself with all the funkiness to his delivery, and it seems like more pitchers would try that. Ooh, a little butterscotch. Hey.
That'll work well. Yeah, Tiant was very difficult. Just wondering about the way Hervasio comes set. Of course, there's nobody on base. How difficult that would be for the base runners. Three balls, 2 strikes.
He looks like Plexico Burris.
He does have that facial look. Towering fly ball. Carlos Lee in left center field. 1 down.
Talking about Freddie Gonzalez, the manager of the Marlins earlier, he was the first ever manager in their history, because when they started, in an expansion team, they didn't have a major league team. And he was the manager of their club in the New York Penn League in Erie back in 1992. And then the other little bit of trivia, the pitcher who threw the first pitch in Marlin history, John Lynch.
Oh, Charlie Huff for the Major League Club, right?
John Lynch, the football player, likely Hall of Fame football player.
He was a pitcher?
Yep, he was a pitcher. They drafted him, and he was on that club in Erie back in '92.
They didn't charge the mound on him. Cody Ross has a single. He was hit by a pitch. 0-2. So they started playing minor league ball in '92, but the Marlins didn't start till '93.
Right. That first year they had a team in the New York Penn League and a team in the Gulf Coast League in Florida. And all young players, and then stocked the team that following offseason with the expansion draft and by signing free agents.
Well, their first ever spring training game was against the Astros in '93. They had parachuters coming down. Made a whole big scene, of course, for their first ever game. Ross strikes out. And Berkman was ready for the throw from Chris Coast. 2 down.
Trying to go down and away. He didn't get his spot, but he got his man. He slipped that fastball by Ross upstairs. He would be vulnerable to a high fastball because of that long stride that he takes. Long stride, kind of a sweeping swing. Fastball above the hands. Pretty good weapon against Ross, if he got enough giddy up.
Ball 1 to Hermida. Hermida has had 2 hits and an RBI tonight. A left-handed hitter usually is more of a challenge against a pitcher like Hervasio, who delivers from where he does.
You certainly get a much better look at him from the left side.
But there are ways of dealing with that. Changing speeds. Moving the ball around. He's trying to stay away from Hermida and has been doing that, but hasn't been getting close enough to get him to swing yet.
Well, probably green light here. He's got the pitcher on deck. 2 outs. Looked like he was taking all the way.
3-1 to Jeremy Hermida. Rips one toward the gap in right center field. That'll go a long way for Jeremy Hermida. Wow. Don't see many home runs up there. That's 6-2. Hermida hitting number 12 of the season, giving him 46 runs batted in.
Well, they tried to work on the outside corner early in that at bat, fell behind him, had to come in 3-0. He was taking 3-1. He was ready to swing. And this is what we were talking about earlier, the depth of the Marlin lineup. This is their 8-hole hitter here. Pretty good swing, 12 home runs.
That's the 10th Marlin hit. Strike to Nolasco. 14 games in a row with 10 hits or more. First time that's been done since the 29 New York Giants. No balls, 2 strikes. It's been an amazing run. 15 straight double figures in hits. Still 0-2.
Bill Terry hit 372 that year for the New York Giants.
Did he really?
Oh, that was a good club. Nell Ott was on that team.
Ooh. That was back in the day. A lot of offense.
Yeah. Late 20s, early 30s. The whole team was hitting 300.
Lasco swings at it and strikes out. That's number 2 for Herbacio. Hermida's home run boosts the Marlins into a 6-2 lead after 7.5. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. It's 6-2. The Marlins lead the Astros. Bottom of the 8th inning. Ricky Nolasco has retired 19 straight after the 2-run homer in the first by Carlos Lee with 2 outs. It'll be Pence, Matsui, and Kostu up in the Astros' 8th inning, as the Marlins try to stay 2 games behind Colorado in the wild card race. The Rockies have won. Pence has tapped out in front of the plate and has struck out. Velasco shooting for win number 9 of the year. Fly ball center field. Cody Ross backing at the warning track. 20 straight outs for Velasco. A couple of them caught by Ross very deep.
Again, this ball's a home run in just about any other ballpark. High drive. Ross able to track it down. Velasco might want to come and pitch here.
He might.
Take advantage of that big center field. Sign him up. You know, it's not uncommon for a pitcher to struggle against a team and then the very next time out face him and pitch well, but it's crazy the difference between his performance last time and this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the Astros beat him, scored 4 or 5 runs. They beat the daylights out of him, put a 10 spot on him. Now he's a couple pitches away from having pitched a perfect game.
No balls, 2 strikes. Alberto Arias warming up for Houston.
It's a game of adjustments, they say, and clearly Ricky Nolasco has made a couple of big ones.
Yes, he has. This is his second career start here in Houston. He's pitched in relief here. 1-2 in the other one. He won 10-6 in April of 08, but he gave up 6 runs in 5 innings. Matsui to second. Ugla, 2 outs. And it's Chris Coase, who struck out both times tonight. There's Spot due up next. The Astros get a potential pinch hitter on deck, Jason Michaels. Arias warming up. Fastball good for strike 1 to Coase. Phillies lead Arizona 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th in Philadelphia. Jason Worth at his 25th. It's 1-1.
The biggest difference for me in Nolasco this time is just his stuff. I mean, his stuff was pretty flat last time and much crisper here tonight. Good action on the breaking pitches. In the previous start, he was coming off a run of a very successful start. So when you pitch deep into games 6 or 7 times in a row, it stands to reason that you might be a little fatigued and come out without your best stuff. And that was the case last time. 3 1/3 against the Astros, 8 hits, 10 runs. Threw 85 pitches in that game, so something a little bit of a break. A lot fresher right arm out there tonight.
Fouled away, but sometimes a pitcher will throw 50 or 60 pitches, get shelled like that, and be out of the game. So that would be something to watch as he tries to bounce back. He threw 85, as you pointed out. That wasn't all that short an outing in terms of pitches thrown for him. The shallow right field, Hermida with a running play. And that's 22 straight retired by Nolasco, 6-2 Marlins. drive by Bush. Downtown Houston on a Tuesday night inside. Ricky Nolasco has been mowing down Astros. 22 straight have been retired. We move to the ninth inning. Pitcher number 4 will be Alberto Arias for Cecil Cooper. West Coast out to work with him.
Well, the Astros' problem is just timing. That's where they messed up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky Nolasco has one 9-inning complete game to his credit in his career. It was a 2-hit shutout. Stuck at 11, and it was August 19th of last year. So you just don't want to mess with Ricky Nolasco.
Okay.
We're about a day short of that, but
right.
You know,
You don't want to be facing Ricky Nolasco.
third week of August.
Right. Chris Coughlin leads it off in the ninth
It's
inning.
just a scheduling issue.
2 Hopper to Berkman. To Arias. One pitch run out.
It's a lot easier to take when you know you have no chance.
Sammy Herbacio in 2 innings. Allowed 1 hit, 1 run. He had 1 walk and struck out 2. Arias has his first man. That'll be Ross Glode facing him. Alberto worked Saturday at Milwaukee. Did not retire a batter, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs. Been showing signs of fatigue here the last couple of weeks. Glode is 0 for 4.
It's a good fastball there, 94 miles an hour with good movement. His stuff has remained pretty good.
It's 1-1.
As long as he gets on top of that fastball, it'll have good downward movement. If he doesn't, he flies open, it'll flatten out.
1-2. Tomorrow night, the Marlins will try to tie the 29 New York Giants and the 37 St. Louis Browns. 15 straight games with 10 hits or more. There's always an objective out there. This has been an amazing run they put together in August. Team batting average better than 300 this month. Bouncer to second. Matsui over to Berkman. 2 outs. Don't forget Astros Live, presented by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. It's coming up next.
1937 St. Louis Browns finished with a record of 46 and 108.
Wow. So they
Must have had some bad pitching.
had some really bad pitching. Now it's Hanley Ramirez, 2 for 4 tonight. Batting average has come up 1 point to 357 during this game. Bouncer up the middle, and now it comes up as he's 3 for 5. It's tough to come into a game with a 430 career batting average against the club and improve it.
He doesn't waste any time either. He goes up there hacking. So he got his base hit up the middle. He got one through the hole on the right side, one on the left side. Makes it awfully hard to defend the guy when he can do that.
Not sure even a softball type defense with a 10th fielder would help on him. Jorge Cantu with a homer and a walk tonight. That's one to left field. Carlos Lee coming in. Makes the run catch. No runs are hit. A man stranded. 11 hits for the Marlins. They lead it 6-2. Now in this 6-2 ball game, Ricky Nolasco gave up a 2-run homer in the first inning, but has mowed down 22 in a row since then.
It has been a most impressive show. With 2 hits in the first inning, double home run. And equally tough against the right and the left-handed batters. Great command of the fastball. And that other complete game was a 5-inning rain-shortened game against the Red Sox. Just once in his career has he gone the distance, gone 9 for a complete game. Fun to be out there as a starting pitcher and shake hands after the game.
Jason Michaels is a pinch hitter. There's ball 1. He's batting for Arias in 1 inning. Allowed 1 hit, no runs. No walks, no strikeouts for Alberto. Michaels hitting .224. Fouls it away, and it's 1-1. He is 8 for 42 as a pinch hitter with 3 driven in. Jason 1 for 6 on the road trip with an RBI. Fouls that one, and it's 1-2 for Ricky Nolasco. Marlins have had 4 complete games from their pitching staff. Freddie Gonzalez was talking about that series when the Astros were at Florida and how if the starter doesn't go very deep into the game, that could impact the next 4 or 5 games. Well, this could work the other way as Nolasco has worked 8 in the 3rd. He's been brilliant. That's 10 strikeouts.
Again, breaking pitch, trying to go outside. Doesn't really make his pitch, but he gets away with it as it catches the inside corner. Comes under the category of when you're hot, you're hot.
Michael Bourne takes another breaking ball. Strike 1. He's 0 for 3.
That pitch right there against the lefties has been all night for him. It's just been devastating. Left-handed hitters just don't see it out of his hands. A great changeup. Funky split finger pitch that he throws.
1-2. Nolasco pitched a 2-hitter last August 19th. You talked about at San Francisco. Little tap. Baker can't pick it up.
To rally.
Or gets an infield hit.
Single to the catcher. We'll take it. Put him in the stretch for the first time since facing Carlos Lee in the first. We know what happened then. He has been terrible tonight with runners on base. Astros are hitting 1,000 against him with runners on base tonight.
23 straight had been retired.
And even if Baker gets it cleanly with Bourne going down the line, he's not going to get him. A couple of just-in-case relievers working for Freddie Gonzalez out there in the Marlin pen.
Miguel Tejada's 0 for 3. Ramirez and Douglas set up for a double play. Strike 1. 107 pitches now for Nolasco. He's thrown as many as 112 in a game, done that twice this year. One and one. Rangers have blown a 5-0 lead. The Twins have tied them 5-5 in the bottom of the 6th at Texas. Maurer hit his 24th homer. Scott Feldman was the starter. It's 1-2 to Miggy.
Sometimes when a pitcher's trying to finish off a ball game, there's a tendency to be in a hurry. And you start to fatigue a little bit, you get a little anxious, and you get too much of the plate. That has not been the case here with Nolasco. Stay true to his game, kind of like a golfer with a lead, making sure you just hit the middle of the green.
2 count. Go won 15 last season. 11-game winner in 06 with the Fish. Marlins are 29-27 on the road this year. Foul ball. Astros have a record here against Florida of 43-21. Over Perez and the Mets down to Atlanta 9-4. Perez going to 3-3, beating Derek Lowe. He's 12-8. Adam LaRoche with another one, number 18. Matt Diaz, number 8. LaRoche is hitting .370 since his first game as a Brave on August 1st. Grounded foul past Dave Clark.
Well, there's one place you can go to find 100 out-of-market games per week and catch those you missed on demand. It's on your computer at MLB.tv. It would seem foolhardy to think about stealing second base down 6-2, but with all the ground balls and all the double plays and Miggy hits into it, Michael felt confident that he could get that bag, and it might be worth it. Double play ends the game.
Fly ball to right, Hermida. 2 outs. Lance Berkman, 1 for 3, a double in the first inning. At that point, Berkman doubled and Lee hit the 2-run homer. It was 2-0 Houston. Then, in the 4th inning, the Marlins tied it. In the 6th, they got 3. Now they lead 6-2. Out away from being 64-55. That struck out in the 4th inning. Fly to left in the 7th. Carlos Lee on deck. To left field. Coughlin with the final out. And the Marlins have won 9 of their last 11 games. They take this one 6-2, a complete game effort for Ricky Nolasco. He goes to 9-8, beating Bud Norris, who's 3-1. And the Marlins have won 4 of 5 from the Astros this season.